Well there folks, if you're tuning in to us for the first time, we are Sunday Night Live. This is our 10th season since starting in late 2017. We're basically a podcast that will, thank you Watch, we're a podcast that will talk about pretty much anything with the exceptions of politics and religion. They're kind of, don't go talking about these. Just leave it alone because they're hot topics in not the best sense. To those who know me, you already know who I am. But if you're listening in for the first time, my name is MJ Knight. I have been a personality on YouTube since 2007. Covering all things, or mostly things, Knight Rider, and since 2015 I was a voice for Thunderbirds Are Go, which Sir Stephen can attest to. Sir Stephen is a regular on Oni Rakaku's chats, along with the very sassy, yet always equally classy, Kitsune Rakaku, but to everyone else, she is the First Lady of Awesome, Awesome Lydia.
Hi. Nice to be on Twitch, even though I'm technically on Twitch with Oni, but still. Oni Rokaku. He's also a personality on Twitch.
Yes, he is a personality. Don't diss me. Dude, if I wanted to diss you, it would have been done already. We're basically an off-the-cuff podcast show. We mainly talk about entertainment, anything from TV, movies, video games, wrestling, and the occasional
comic books.
Yep, and I also tend to stream my movie reviews. And in the chat, Dan D Defender 42. Welcome back, friends. Welcome back, Dan. What we're going to be do, courtesy of the advice from one Oryo Rokaku, we will be only streaming the audio from my movie reviews, but doing it in a way whereby once we're a little bit more established, we'll actually stream with the footage. So what we're going to be doing as a temporary means is just leaving the link in the chat so that people can then see it for themselves, and then you can then go subscribe to me later on YouTube if you want to. Extra subscribers do help, and it helps if you follow me on Twitch, and then if I can make it to affiliate status, you can then subscribe to me, and you'll probably do as Steven does by donating bits to a pun jar, because Steven is infamous for donating to the pun jar.
That's mainly on Oni's channel, and that's because, hey, if I see a moment for comedy, hey, I go for it.
You do.
Timing, one of the 5 golden rules of comedy.
Especially the barrage.
Puns.
Especially the barrage of James Bond puns that he was littered with just before Christmas.
And the recent spur of train jokes in his playthrough of Red Dead Redemption 2.
That clearly went off the rails. We're going to get onto some topics. We actually have a Season 2 date for the 2017 He-Man and the Masters of the Universe.
Oh?
There we go. He-Man and the Masters of the Universe announces Season 2 premiere date. Not to be confused with the Kevin Smith reboot. No, don't ever confuse it with that. Netflix's other He-Man series now has a release date for its 2nd season. Fans of Masters of the Universe still haven't gotten the new live-action movie that they have been promised for the last decade, Still, in the last year, Netflix has released 2 very different TV series based on the 80s franchise, with Kevin Smith creating a new continuation of the story from the original Masters of the Universe cartoon, and Mattel Television developing a brand new iteration called He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. So, basically the same thing, but just 2017. They look to capture a younger audience. The second series has now finally had its second season premiere date announced by the streamers on the show's official Twitter account. Like any reboot of a nostalgia-soaked property, the newest version of He-Man divided fans with its change of animation style and overall feel of the show. Why would they be divided over it? I thought it was great.
Yeah.
However, the viewing numbers were enough to show a secure new run of 10 further episodes, which will be released on Netflix in March 3rd, meaning there is only a month to wait for fans of this new version of the muscle-bound Eternian hero. You can see the announcement in a tweet below. You won't have to wait long. He-Man and the Masters of the Universe Season 2 is coming March 3. We have the power. There are no details currently known about the new episodes, but the main voice cast, including Yuri Lowenthal, David Kay, and Kimberly Brooks, is likely to remain unchanged, and showrunner Rob David is also expected to return, having been part of Masters of the Universe for almost a decade through its comic book iterations with DC. While the show is not, and does not try to be, the 80s original, it was generally well received by new fans, most of which have no prior connection with the franchise. Well, that's certainly promising to go by.
Yeah.
I'll keep my comments relatively short because I'm known for yammering on these things. It's good to know that we're not going to have long to wait, and hopefully similar continuation of what we've seen from the first season. Stephen, your thoughts?
I'm glad that it's coming back for a second season. I really particularly like the voice talent that they got for this series. I mean, Yuri Lowenthal, whom most of people out there may know for Ben 10 in the Alien Force Up to Omniverse, and most recently as Peter Parker in Insomniac's Spider-Man series.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
And, of course, David Kay, this time as Cringer, which I actually like how they made this version of Cringer different. Instead of him being more or less a similar age to Adam, he's more like a mentor figure and kind of like an older version of the character. Plus, David Kay, you cannot go wrong with him. No,
absolutely not. Your thoughts, Lids?
You there?
Yeah. Oh, I personally think that cool. It's coming back, and I'm kind of glad that it's coming back. I haven't gotten a chance to see that yet, but again, I'm a little trepidation when it comes to He-Man products because of a certain other thing I don't want to refer to or talk about right now. It kind of left a sour taste in my mouth. So again, I will check it out when it comes out because again, I'm a little behind when it comes to Netflix stuff. So I'll watch it when I watch it. Just and we'll see what happens.
Dan is asking, speaking of wrestling, anyone seen the Royal Rumble? I didn't see the event itself, but I was part of the commentary team last night.
Let's just say somebody's costume got Lids riled up, let's just say.
Yeah, I kind of did, but that wasn't the worst of it. You thought that would be the worst of it, but no. My pick was Charlotte Flair.
Oh no!
At least Charlotte didn't win.
That is fair, but again, we got Ronda Rousey out of the deal. So, on a related note, Oni owes me dinner.
You hear that, Mr. Rakaku?
Yes, I heard you. I do not care for it.
I want steak.
You will get steak from Taco Tuesdays. I hate you.
No, no tacos for me.
You know what he's gonna do just to be so Oni, he'll be Uber Oni. One of these days, he'll probably give you like the definitive edition of Demolition Man. You'll be like, Oni, yes, we're going to have words. Ooh, really? Yes, the words that you're not going to like is you're going to get to see Dark Kitsune. Oh, I already know how this goes. Yes, you do.
Yeah, could be worse.
Yes. Kit could make him watch. Actually, no. What could Kit make him watch beside? You know, we can't really force him to watch Twilight. Oh yeah, make him watch
The Karen movie.
Oh,
Even I would be
yes!
subjective to that.
All right. Still on the subject of He-Man, this actually concerns the never-ending story of the live-action movie. The live-action movie has found its He-Man. West Side Story star Kyle Allen will be the new live-action He-Man in the up-and-coming Masters of the Universe movie in the works at Netflix.
Oh.
Well, it was previously at Sony Pictures, if you recall.
Yeah.
We have our He-Man. Per Variety, Netflix announced on Friday that their upcoming live-action Masters of the Universe movie had just locked down West Side Story star Kyle Allen as its lead. He's also starred in Hulu's The Path and FX's American Horror Story Apocalypse. Will play this movie's version of He-Man. This incarnation is described as an orphan named Adam who discovers he is a prince destined to be a savior of a faraway land. He must quickly learn of his power and the importance of saving his true home from an evil force. Mattel Studios is partnering up with Netflix for the Masters of the Universe film. The Nee brothers, can't say I've heard of those before, the filmmakers behind The Band of Robbers and the upcoming Sandra Bullock film The Lost City, are co-writing and directing the feature. David Callahan co-wrote the script with the Nees. Todd Black, Jason Blumenthal, and Steve Tisch, being the Ricardos, Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. Okay. Are producing with Devon... Again, I'm just quoting what's reading the article, folks. Those are not my words. Are producing with Devon Franklin. No other casting announcements have been made, though. Though Noah Centineo was previously attached to the role of He-Man before leaving the project. Masters of the Universe is an iconic property that shaped the imaginations of an entire generation of kids. It's true. With the message of becoming the best version of yourself. With our partners at Netflix, we will look forward to showing audiences that anything can happen in Eternia. We are continuing to unlock this global franchise in new ways, and we can't wait to see Kyle battle out with Skeletor in his live-action epic saga, says Robbie Brenner, head of Mattel Films. Brenner is also leading the project for the company with Kevin McKeon. This movie has been 14 years in the making. Talk about developmental hell. Making for us, and our partners are so excited to tell an entirely new story and share it with a global audience. Well, first things first. He kind of reminds me of a younger Heath Ledger. It's a very similar shape of the eyes and the jawline.
Yeah.
I'd have to see the following: concept art, wardrobe, and a trailer. Because it's too early to cast any kind of opinion. I'm glad that the movie's finally being put together, because, like I said, the movie's been tossed around so many times now. It's in a similar situation that the 2007 TMNT movie was in before it finally got there. So, yeah, I'm gonna wait to see a trailer. Steven.
Same with me. Considering this thing has been in development hell for the last few years, until I see some concrete evidence of production going on, I'm not interested. Until a trailer shows up, I'm keeping on the fence about this.
That's fair. Madam President, your thoughts?
again, I'm with you. I'll have to see like a trailer or something before I can give my honest opinion. I mean, the dude does kind of, I will agree with you, he does look like a very young Heath Ledger, but and I need to see this for myself, like a trailer, concept art, something. I need evidence. I don't just need a person. Don't throw a person in front of me unless you got freaking concept art or some idea of what you're gonna do with it. That's how I am with MCU casting. Let me see what they can do before you fucking throw him in front of my face. Okay?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fair. Absolutely fair. Where is Raiden?
That's a good question.
He knew we were coming back this week.
Maybe he forgot.
Yeah.
If slept in, who knows?
Yep. Alright. Let me see. What can we go into with... Oh. I believe, this is a little something you wanted to address, Madam President?
Oh, here we fucking go.
Oh.
I'll let you take the lead.
Mr. Whedon, I would love to have some words with you, but again, I think if we had words face to face, I would end up punching you repeatedly in the dick, but then I don't wish to sully my freaking feet or any part of my body. That interview, okay, I've read some snippets of that interview. I've watched videos of people talking about what he said. First of all, go fuck off, because you want to make it, like, again, there were a lot of sentiments in that interview where he's all like, oh, I don't want to say that you're lying. It's like he's trying to use his words properly. I don't recall. I don't believe that's what happened. But again, let's put into cement. This is something someone pointed out. Let's put into context here. All the people that accused him of something, and he minced his words and was careful with that, because he's, again, trying to get back in the good graces of all the feminists out there, because they kind of tarnished his reputation after that. He loosely minced his words. But when it came to Ray Fisher, he flat out said he was fucking lying. Just flat out said he was lying. And not only that, he said he was a terrible fucking actor. Excuse me? What?
What?
I'm sorry. Just, is it because of the color of his skin, or just because you're an asshole? Or is it because he has a penis? I don't know. But the point is, you don't, again, I've seen his performance in the Snyder Cut. He's not a bad actor. You just didn't know what the fuck to do with him. And on top of that, there are a lot of things that, like, Snyder did that Joss wouldn't do, because, again, there are differences between those two. Snyder would put input with his actors. He would listen to them. It's like, this is what my character would say. No, Joss is more like, you say what I say, how I wrote it. No. Okay, look, I understand. He is, he's good at what he does. He's a good writer, but the problem is you can still be a good writer and be a garbage person, because that's what you are, you fucking asshole. You are a garbage person. Okay, and let's also not talk about what he said about Gal Gadot, where he's like, oh, English is not her first language. Ooh. She probably didn't understand what I said. She fucking understood you perfectly, motherfucker. She understood you. She has been acting in English-speaking movies for a very long time before you got to her. Okay, so no, that whole fucking bullshit about her not understanding what she said when you clearly threatened her career if she didn't fall in line. And there's a reason that scene where the Flash falls on top of Wonder Woman, that wasn't her. There's a good reason for that, because she didn't want to do it. And that's incredibly sexist what they did right there. So, no. So, no. Mr. Whedon, I can enjoy some of your work, but I can also critique it as well. There are a lot, like, starting with Buffy, there are a lot of things that like hide a bit of your xenophobia. Let's not talk about what you did to Kendra. You made Bianca Lawson put on a freaking terrible Jamaican accent, and the icing on the cake at the end of that season, you killed her. So, No, that doesn't that has some issues with some of that xenophobia. There are other people of color that were on that show that were instantly killed off. In season 3, Buffy's guidance counselor, who was like giving her like she was having to go mandated counseling after. That's one of the reasons she was allowed back in school. Had to go to counseling, had to go to therapy. I liked her therapist, and then they killed him off for the sake of the plot. Again, was that because of the color of the skin, or were you just being an asshole, Joss? Let me tell you that.
It's hard to tell with him.
It is hard to tell because, quite frankly, just I was a fan of your work. I still am, but the problem is I can now critique it because I don't see you as the god of the nerds. I see you as a schmuck who doesn't know any better and doesn't know. And there's like another point out in that interview where he said, I had to sleep with all these young actresses. What? He actually said that. He was not joking about it.
I got nothing.
No. You did not have to do that. You could have kept your dick in your pants and go back to work, asshole. You did not need to sleep with any of these actresses you had affairs with while you were fucking still married. Oh no. You don't get a pass just because your work is good. Again, because you're a talented writer and a talented creator doesn't mean you're not a garbage person. Okay? So, Joss, I will enjoy your work, but I will look at it with a lot more clinical eye because you are a piece of shit that doesn't deserve to run anything ever again. You don't deserve your own creative work. Go back to the indies where you could try to put it into good graces. I don't see that happening because you see yourself as, I'm Joss Whedon. I created this. I'm all that. I am this. No. There was a reason I'm so glad you got kicked out of the MCU because go fuck yourself. Go fuck you and the horse you rode in on.
Yeah.
I got nothing. Steve, go say how you feel.
Oh, Joss. You really gotta learn to shut your trap. I mean, I think he's just so up. I just think he's just so far up his own ass. He's just so deluded himself with his own narcissism that he believes he can do no wrong. And do you know how well that goes for most people?
Not very.
Exactly.
A narcissist that would make Tony Stark look modest. Can't believe those words left my mouth.
Oh, please. Even Tony would be saying, hey, that's too much. I mean, I think Josh just needs to fade away out of Hollywood right now because everyone knows the shit you've pulled. I mean, considering everything now that has come out, including the disgusting behavior that he did while he was working on Buffy, and I know Lids hates that especially.
Yeah, it bothers me.
We're not going to go over that again.
Yeah, that's already been said once before on the podcast. If you don't know what we're talking about, just look up previous episodes up on YouTube.
Yeah.
But regardless, nobody in Hollywood wants to touch him. No sane person in Hollywood wants to touch him with a 50-foot flagpole at this point.
Damn.
Whedon, just get out of Hollywood and stay out. You've done enough damage as it is, and nobody wants to see you do any more damage. Thank you. Good day, sir.
Would people like a lovely, pleasant palate cleanser at this point?
Yes, please. I would love one.
Okay.
It's a shame Layden isn't here.
I know. I'm thinking he's either asleep, out, or he's at work.
True. And he did say before that he does get really tired after work. I know I am, and I finished a shift about just over an hour ago.
No, not yet. Okay. Here is the opening review for this season.
Aha.
Right,
I can see why.
Dan,
Yep, I'm at 0.
Dan, I'm putting in the chat because until we're a little bit more established, I'm not gonna stream it in
Better
there.
safe than sorry.
Indeed.
Okay. I'm at 0.
Damn it. Hold on. There we go.
Come on.
Now I'm at 0.
Steve?
Yep, ready to go.
3, 2, 1, go. Buddy Pictures. Who doesn't like a duo team-up? We've seen over the years from the likes of the Blues Brothers, Bill and Ted, Die Hard 3 with a Vengeance, Dragnet, and Venom that a pairing can make for great chemistry
Venom.
and entertainment.
Yes.
Today's feature sees
We
movie legend
agree.
Samuel L. Jackson team up with comedic veteran Eugene Levy, better known as Jim's dad from American Pie.
Yeah, that's kind of sad that he's known for that now.
2005, or
Oh,
one that's been
dear.
Looked upon with great disdain. Let's find out as we find out who the man is. Pacing, chemistry, and timing. This movie has it in spades. Now, you might be thinking that I'm already summarizing the movie before giving my explanation of why I think this. You're correct, but I'm telling you of these 3 key aspects, and then by the end of this, it'll make sense. Derek Van and Andy Fiedler are from 2 different worlds. One is a hardened TFA federal agent that has no filter when it comes to cursing. Well, this is a Sam Jackson movie. You didn't honestly expect him to be kid-rated, did you? And the other is a dental supply salesman that is probably the nicest guy you could ever meet. Quirky, friendly, approachable, and someone that is a real family man. The basic plot is that of mistaken identity, in essence. Van sets up a buy for stolen weaponry that a foreign dealer has taken possession of, and Van looks to get a taste by being at a diner with a copy of USA Today. This is set up by Van's informant, Booty, played by Anthony Mackie, who a lot of you may know
Oh,
as
yeah, I
Sam
forgot.
Wilson, aka
He's
the
in
Falcon
this
in the
movie.
MCU. And he's basically Van's ear on the wall and punching bag, in the literal sense of the word.
You're faster, Booty! Pump those up! Get those knees up! Your form is all jacked up, dog! What you want, man? I want to buy some guns! I don't know! I'm talking about a
Jeez.
telephone pole! What?
Even before he became the Fury.
Andy gets the last copy of the paper, and Joey Trent, played by Luke Goss, hands Andy the merch thinking he's Van, and things escalate with Andy unaware that a gun is in the bag and is arrested by Van. What then
gun is in
begins
the
is a
bag.
series of hijinks where
Holy
the two
shit.
bicker and get on each other's nerves. More so
The
with
hijinks
Van, as
ensue.
Andy irritates him with his criticism of cursing, and to one moment I think a lot of people can relate to.
Oh, damn! Let the window down!
Oh, it's just a little flatulence.
Oh, a little flatulence? An elephant could take in the back seat and it wouldn't smell that bad.
Can we just let it go?
Ugh.
Jesus.
Oh, man!
Oh boy, come on! Oh man!
Wait, I'm wondering, is that where they got that bit in Batman and Harley Quinn from?
Maybe.
Tell me I didn't hear what I think.
Really nothing. I wouldn't worry about it. It's.
Oh no!
Did you eat lunch when you went back to the hotel?
I had some lunch.
What'd you have for lunch exactly?
I had a sandwich.
What kind of sandwich?
Steak sandwich.
Hey!
You rotten ass son of a... Sisters?
I feel
Oh,
like
those
the main
poor
plot is the
nuns, I'm
bond
so
between
sorry.
Derek and Andy,
Oh,
as
dear.
The subplot of the gun trafficking just feels like it takes a back seat. It's not necessarily a detriment to the story, but the chemistry of the two leading men did seem to overshadow the latter. That said, the character of Joey Trent didn't exactly have enough material to work with as opposed to Van and Fiddler. You remember when I said the sign of a good writer is when a character is in a different place compared to where they were at the beginning? Well, this is evident for Van as he made time for his daughter's ballet recital and learning to trust people more. Which is highlighted when Van signals to Andy to use the masseter muscles in his mouth to bite Trent, who has him held at gunpoint. This is a link to when Van asked what Fiddler would do if he and his wife were held at gunpoint.
You're walking down the street with your wife. A guy comes up out of nowhere, grabs you from behind, puts a gun to your wife's head. What do?
Bite him.
Bite him?
Do you have any idea how powerful the human bite is? The masseter muscles in the jaw can exert 600 pounds of pressure per inch, and I'm not even discussing bacteria.
Masseter muscles.
It's Latin.
For 83 minutes, the pacing
Well,
never
it's
falters,
it is
whether
said
it's
that
the action
a
or
person's
the
bite
character
can be as strong as a
development gives the
dog's.
audience a chance to breathe.
Oh.
I have yet to see this man in a movie where he gives a bad performance. Despite Star Wars Episode 2 being the train wreck that it was, either as a protagonist or an antagonist, he has the biggest amount of sass and probably the biggest potty mouth of any actor. And yet, he makes it look like an art form.
There's not one person in this world that you trust.
Nope.
Your mother.
Oh, hell no.
Can you not trust your mother?
She could be playing.
Don't trust your mother!
He also displays anger greatly.
God damn you!
Damn!
Oh, son of a...
Never seen anyone that off before.
Basically, he steals the show, and he does it effortlessly. Some know him as the creepy antagonist from Splash, and more recently, he's known as Jim's dad from the American Pie series.
Oh,
What I
really?
like about Levy
I
is
did not
he
know
seems
that.
like he's
Yeah, I
playing
forgot
himself
about
as this
that.
very sweet, friendly, and honest family man that you'd like to share a coffee with. He acts as this sobering yin to Van's angry yang, as he gets him to understand there are more subtle ways to solve things, whether it be curbing his language,
Oh, fuck. Crying out loud.
to persuading him to attend his daughter's recital. Basically, he's that friend that everyone wants and needs. We all need a Jim's dad. Enter the comic relief.
It's a nickel-plated Ladysmith 9 Mary Mary chrome inlay. Gonna feel that.
Got a nice weight to it.
Yeah, so do you, baby.
Also, MJ, I
Keep
think
in
you
mind,
spelled
this
Anthony
is
Mackie's
about-
name
I
wrong.
know.
Not
I
everyone
didn't notice
is
that till
everything and
like a
anything.
week before, but I thought, I'm not changing it just for that.
What he said.
That's fine.
As mentioned
Sure they
before,
will
understand.
it's basically Van's
Yep.
eyes and I'll ears put it on in the street, description when it
Oh,
gets places up, he when I
can't go as a
release it
federal agent.
tomorrow. He plays his part well from being chased in the street, and to this rather painful moment. Oh no.
No!
Oh!
Oh no!
Get your ass through this fence. You know, somehow
Urge to make fun?
theorized that this might
No,
have been his
I'm not going to.
initiation into the Avengers.
It just shows you how far Mackie has progressed in his career when you now see him playing a superhero.
A smug man with a punchable face. So that's basically every British antagonist ever.
As the main antagonist of the flick, he plays his part well as
Ah.
this charming,
Yeah.
charismatic gun dealer that has mistaken Andy as a gun buyer. The late Miguel Ferreira plays a small role that is almost antagonistic in the context that he believes Van was in cahoots with his deceased partner in gun trafficking, whereas Van believes that if he played in the rain, he got wet. Susie plays a small role as Van's supervisor who questions his motives in the gun purchasing he's trying to set up, but comes through for him during the end of the movie as she has her own gripes with internal affairs.
Can I assume that Agent Van has been cleared by Internal Affairs now?
Not so fast. I want to see every penny of that money. Heads up.
How about now, you bean counting moron?
I like this woman.
Hmm.
British
She
composer
got
John
sass.
Murphy, whose Very. theatrical credits include 28 Days Later, Basic Instinct 2, Mean Machine, Sunshine, Kick-Ass, the Suicide Squad and the upcoming Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 took on the duties of providing the score.
It's very quirky, mostly with the leading men, which helps to enhance the humor, and when it needs to be serious, it does its job.
It's safe to say that without the score, the movie would feel very different. Despite my positive thoughts on the movie, it was a box office bomb. It only earned $10.3 million against a budget of $20 million. Adjust that?
Oh dear.
16 years of inflation and its takings today would be worth $14 million. The movie received a Razzie nomination with Eugene Levy as the worst supporting actor, and Samuel and Eugene receiving the award for Less Than Dynamic Duo at the Stinkers Bad Movie Awards in 2005.
Despite what the critics had to say, the movie has been enjoyed on DVD since 2005. I'm MJ Knight, and we found out who the man was. Has this held up since the great year that was 2005? Okay, that's gonna stop. Right. Thank you. I appreciate that people need to talk to each other, but not whilst I'm filming. There's a blooper. A smug man with a punchable face. So that's basically every British.
Very nice.
Thank you.
Indeed.
It's another one of those. I was looking for something to open up with for season 17. I thought, let's try and open up with with a similar sort of approach, like with last season, where I opened up with an 80s, forgotten classic, and just thought open up with the man. Let's see what.
Good choice.
There you go. No, I don't know what's come away from that. That's fine. Yeah, like I say, I was aware until about a week ago that I'd spelled Anthony Mackie's name wrong, but I looked at it objectively. Is it worth taking a video down, going into the edits, correcting the spelling mistake, and then re-putting everything together? Is it worth it just to take a video down just for that?
That's fair. You're right.
Yeah.
Well, it's like I say, I'll put in the description, I am aware that I spelled Anthony Mackie's name wrong, but it's not like if, let's say I'd done the edits where I'd left too much footage in, or I left in a, something that's more for blooper territory, then be like, okay, yeah, you need to take that one out. Or if something inappropriate was said inadvertently, it's like, ooh, no, take that out. No, you can't go saying that. No. No, like I say, for like a small thing like that, it's like, nah, it's not worth it. For those that are new to this, what I will do now is just go around the table and ask my co-hosts, had they ever seen them? Because for those, for Dan, he knows this formula, but for those that are tuning in that are new to this, I'll ask, Steve and Lids, Did they ever see the movie originally? Does it still hold up? And what do they think of the review? And we begin with Stephen.
I never saw The Man before, but I think that there's a lot of other films that have taken inspiration from The Man, especially with some of the clips that you've shown. Well, that was seen in the review.
Yeah.
Very, very, once again, very nicely edited. And it's definitely one that I'm probably going to look up at some point.
You might want to do it as quick as on Amazon, because there's only like X amount of copies left, and Amazon's one of the very few places you can find it, because not even HMV's got this.
Otherwise, or you could always do what Optimus Prime suggests, eBay.
Still so weird, of all people, Peter Cullen gets Prime to go and say that. Madam President, same questions to you.
I've actually never seen this movie. It's like, again, it wasn't. I didn't give it a chance. I never saw it because it was with the consensus of everybody. It's like, this isn't very good. I can go see it, or I can do something else with my time. And I chose to do something else with my time. Also, as a kid, you kind of don't get choices of which movie you go to. You're either stuck with going with your family, or you're not going anywhere. So, so I never saw it. But again, it's not a terrible movie. It's just I wish I'd given it a chance. But what can you do?
And it's like I say, the the exchange between Booty and the Lady Bride goes, "Oh, it's got a nice weight to it. So do you." I was like, "Yeah, you can't say that now." But it's as Steve said when he held up the sign, it was a different time. Things were a little bit more laid back then. And the scene when he's trying to interrogate him for information, like, "Oh, come on, man." And the fact his friends are laughing at him as a result, it's like, "Oh, come on, man, that's harsh."
That's low.
Oh dear! It would have been fun if Raiden was here, but you know, he's obviously away. Oh. If you hear me sort of adjusting in the background, I'll keep this as short and to the point as I'm able to, folks. I'm having to keep my foot elevated because I got operated on the other day, and I have to keep my right foot elevated. So I'm kind of using a makeshift stool under my desk, which is a storage box and a toolbox on top of each other, whilst wearing a pair of Homer Simpson slippers. So it's not very comfortable on my right knee, but it's the only way I was able to do this without having to do this on my laptop, and everybody knows how I sound doing the live stream and I'm on my laptop. Not great. So that's The Man done and dusted with. We talked about the He-Man live action series, and we've talked about He-Man's season 2. Speaking of nostalgia, let me just go get that set up. Yeah, I probably should really move that onto another screen. Let's put the music back on. We're going back to Jurassic Park a moment.
Ooh.
Approaching Jurassic Park using real-life science and technology. Here's an in-depth look at how modern-day science and technology could approach a hypothetical real-life creation of Jurassic Park. Back in '93, the premise of Jurassic Park was pure fantasy. Today, however, the grey area between the world of make-believe and reality is not so thin. Surely, maybe the idea of a Disneyland-inspired theme park with real-life dangerous dinosaurs. Don't ever let Disney do that. We like we like Jurassic Park the way it was with Universal. Behind Cages seems a bit far-fetched, but does it really? Spielberg's adaptation of Michael Crichton's novel depicts a scientist's dream gone wrong. And to be fair, if you remember from The Lost World, at the end of that movie, Hammond is credited as Dr. John Hammond. So that is true. Life finds a way. The core quote of the movie not only sets a precedent for the theme of the sequels to follow, but also speaks the truth to scientists' inherent curiosity today. Inside, the technological advances of today's world no longer tantalize the idea of science fiction. Take a film like I, Robot, whose premise depicts a world where highly intelligent robots walk amongst the public and fill human workspaces. Back in 2004, the idea of a robot walking and conversing in human spaces just seemed as likely as Marty McFly's hoverboard in Back to the Future Part 2. However, in early January, a UK company called Engineer Art introduced the first ever humanoid robot. So if we can create artificial intelligence that would stop us... If we can create artificial intelligence, what would stop us from bringing back the dinosaurs? In this article, we approach Jurassic Park using real-life science, scientific and technological discovery. A new kind of hybrid model. Archaeologists all over the world are claiming to have found DNA strands of prehistoric mammals, dinosaurs included. It would never be possible to positively replicate the DNA of prehistoric dinosaurs, but instead create a new modified species. One of the most famous cases in which DNA was extracted from a woolly mammoth who died over 4,000 years ago. The mammoth was found in Siberia, preserved under several layers of ice. However, no dinosaur DNA has been extracted, only dinosaur blood. Dinosaurs will never be biologically perfect, but instead more diverse and up to speed for today's standards. You can walk into any car dealership in the country and they will sell you on this year's latest model, has all the newest features that will make your car the best model yet. Scientists have a similar take on dinosaurs. A few years back, there were debates about Jurassic Park all over the internet, claiming that dinosaurs weren't authentic enough to their prehistoric predecessors. Dinosaurs are basically flightless birds, and therefore should have had wings and feathers. I don't want to see wings on a T-Rex. Sorry, that just doesn't work for me.
It's just weird.
I know. That'd be like Michael Bay trying to write a cohesive script. Oh wait, that's pure sci-fi. Hey, I apologize for nothing. This was squashed by the counter-argument that Spielberg's dinosaurs were made from the DNA from a variety of reptiles. That being said, today's dinosaurs would be a class all their own. Recreating dinosaurs wouldn't be as simple as cloning a cat or a dog. There is not enough genetic material to work with to clone a dinosaur. Instead, scientists would have to splice together genes together to create an entirely new life from very scratch. Some say it's playing God, while others believe the scientific advances could be a huge asset to the world today. Genetically modified dinosaurs could potentially hold the cure for diseases around the world. It does, however, raises questions of cost and principle. Creating genetically modified dinosaurs would cure diseases. Okay. How?
I respectfully disagree, but okay.
In Jurassic Park, Hammond was the CEO and creator of the park. With Elon Musk's recent return from space, many believed he would be the one to, like Hammond, try and capitalize on the resurgence of prehistoric life. The co-founder of Neuralink, Max Hodak, tweeted about the potential to bring back dinosaurs. Biodiversity, anti-fragility, is definitely valuable. Conservation is important and makes sense. Conservation is important, excuse me. But why do we stop there? Why don't we more intentionally try to generate more diversity? Hodak's entire argument on an exotic novel species of dinosaur teeters on the positives that it could bring to the medical industry, but he isn't naive to know how wrong that could play out in reality. Call it mad scientist syndrome or pure genius. So that's Tarrison on The Weekend, basically. Love ya, Tarrison, but you do kind of go crazy from time to time. It's no surprise that the re-emergence of dinosaurs would come from the company of Elon Musk and Max Hodak. Almost sounds like MODOK. Oh, wait a minute. What's more?
Oh no.
What's more?
No.
What's more? Oh, then again, only Rikaku's one lab accident away from being a supervillain. Today, I will create the perfect Twitch stream play. I will attempt to play Sonic 360 in 1 hour. Only you're mad. Yes, I know.
No.
Looks like we got somebody new. Sean Retro in the chat.
No, he's always been. He's always been. In there. How you doing, Sean? What if he genetically engineered anime dinosaur girls?
No.
Anime cat girls.
I will say this as brief as possible. That would feel extremely awkward. We shall say nothing more on that. We shall say nothing more on that. The Adam Smith Institute has been claimed that dinosaurs can be back by 2050. They claimed that with one single successfully engineered dinosaur embryo, they could create a whole species to follow. Okay. It is mentioned that the island that Jurassic Park is built on is Isla Nublar, the island of Cloud, near Costa Rica. Although a real island in Costa Rica was used for the establishing shot, Isla Nublar was fictitious. Costa Rica was initially chosen as a proper climate to house the dinosaurs because it was isolated and mimicked a similar climate to the one that existed millions of years ago, which makes sense. They come from a tropical time in Earth's history and therefore need the temperature as such to support themselves. So if we are to genetically engineer dinosaurs, where would we put them? Sure, an isolated island that houses no human life would be an appropriate answer, but that was already explored in the Lost World Jurassic Park and Jurassic Park 3. In one instance, a young girl travelling with her family is eaten alive by a swarm of ferocious dinosaurs. Actually, she was saved, so she was not eaten alive. So, forget that. And in the third installment to the franchise, a young boy parasailing with his uncle, actually it was his stepfather, get it right, with his uncle crash into the island. One of the main points that Hodak iterates in creating a novel species that the new dinosaurs would be different from those that existed before. As a result, throw in evolutions and that you have dinosaurs that can adapt to swimming large distances or flying miles to land if they are not so isolated after all. The verdict on new Dio DNA. John Hammond thought that electric fences and isolation could keep his creations at bay, but a lightning storm quickly shows him his mistakes. Actually, the park was sabotaged, not the tropical storm.
Yeah.
Jurassic Park today wouldn't be able to safely exist virtually anywhere, as Ian Malcolm famously quotes, "Your scientists were so preoccupied on whether they could, they didn't stop to think if they should." And this rings true to a lot of technology for today. For years, countless science fiction stories have warned of the blunders of science and technology and how half things could take a turn for the worse. And to quote Awesome Lydia, the last words from humanity would be, "Huh, that worked." Sure, dinosaurs can be resurrected from extinction, but like Jurassic Park and the sequel so repetitively point out, there is no place to house these enormous creatures. Right.
Yeah, because that's totally not going to go wrong.
This is where I have to... Dan says, wait, they could genetically engineer T-Rex and Velociraptors to be herbivores. Then they wouldn't be T-Rex or Velociraptors. Sean says, did the writers of the article even watch the movie?
Probably not.
This is where I have to answer in 3 modes. Objectively, subjectively, and then being asshole MJ at the end of it. Subjectively, probably not the best idea. From a scientific perspective, it would be interesting to see if it could be done. The fan in me, I can't think of any time where, when I've watched Jurassic Park, where I'd like to be one of the people in the tour cars going by and looking at the majestic brachiosaur and, you know, the grazing triceratops, and watching Rexy from a safe distance with no sabotage, no electric fences going out, and just be like, hey Rexy. And then, you know, the fan of me would just imagine her just waving one of her little tiny arms, going like, hey. And then there's asshole me. It's like, are you nuts? It's like... To be fair, I think it's plausible that if Nedry hadn't have sabotaged the park, there's a chance things might have gone right. And for the first 10 years before the events of Jurassic World, it did go right. They actually did find a way to make it work. But people got greedy. They wanted bigger, better, and more teeth. And, you know, that was one of the themes of Jurassic World, corporate greed. Because... Oh, Dan just said Jurassic waifus. Let's not give people ideas, Dan. Just saying.
Oh, no.
No.
Was that Raiden just then? Oh.
No, that was me.
Okay. He's missing a treat here. Just saying.
We miss you, Raiden.
Yes. I'm gonna just say this. Idealistically, I'd like to see it be done. But there's that other side of me that's like, you know, there's 5 movies that says why it shouldn't be done. But the idea that, you know, a T-Rex could swim the ocean. No. We know a T-Rex can swim, but not to the lengths that the Mosasaur could do. So, I don't know. I'm kind of caught in the middle. It shouldn't be done, but I'd like to see it done. That's how I'll just leave it. Probably have a fair idea what you're going to say, Steve, but as ever, I'm always interested to hear what you have to say.
Well, majority of me says that such an idea would have devastating consequences, because scientists immediately think about doing something without the consequences. I mean, shouldn't we be focused on trying to save our own world, natural world as it is, rather than trying to just throw in science just to create things that have become extinct for millions of years? We've got enough we have enough trouble trying to save the animals of today, rather than just bringing in animals from the past.
Because the white rhino went extinct a few years ago.
I mean, look how many species throughout mankind's tenure on the planet have gone extinct because either our greed, whether we consider them pests, or just for the sake of hunting. Thousands, if not millions, of species have gone extinct because of mankind's own ignorance.
Look at the dodo.
And the Tasmanian tiger, to name a few.
Which is actually from the canine family, which is weird.
It's more a marsupial than a canine, so...
Aren't they trying to bring that back?
Yeah, they've been trying to do that for years, along with the dodo and Ice Age animals as well. But for the most part, I think we should focus on preserving what we have rather than trying to bring back what we don't have.
Exactly.
It's a fair comment.
Although on the other hand, it would be interesting to try. It would be interesting to try it, but I have a caveat.
Okay.
Rather than go for some of the big dinosaurs, there were smaller species that were around. I think there were dwarf species of dinosaurs that were like miniature versions of what they'd have on the mainland. I think Hatsag Island was an example. You had like examples of sauropods and relatives of Iguanodon that were about the size of a pony.
Because
So maybe
Gallimimus
something-
were only like 9 feet tall, weren't they?
Yeah, but I think there was. I remember watching a documentary, Planet Dinosaur, and they showed some dwarf dinosaurs that existed on some of the islands in Europe that were around during the Cretaceous.
Huh.
And the way they adapted to island life was that they shrunk in size compared to the mainland cousins, which were like a little bit bigger compared to them. So maybe try and if they can modify dinosaurs, maybe create ones that are smaller in size compared to what they were in the past. That way they'd be manageable.
That's true.
And it's said in the past that velociraptors grew up to the size of a turkey. So
Yeah, but for movie purposes, you know, a Velociturkey doesn't quite look as nice as the likes of Blue.
Hollywood, it doesn't give enough spectacle, as they would say. But if dinosaurs are up for considerations, maybe think of the dwarf dinosaurs first.
I remember back in the day when I was at high school, I toyed with this idea of what if you had like a phone. What if you had like a mini Jurassic Park where the dinosaurs are exactly like that, where I think I remember quick question, am I allowed to say the word pygmy these days, or is that kind of considered inappropriate?
I would say dwarf. That's what some people refer to them as.
Okay. All right. Because I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure if that's considered appropriate or not. Because that's how I wrote it at the time. But you know, early to mid 90s, you know, things were
like it was a different time.
Yeah. So you know, I had this idea of, you know, what if you had like a mini Jurassic Park just next door to Longleat? You know, because Longleat's a great safari park. But what if you had, say, you know, similar thing, but the T-Rex is, say, no bigger than 3 to 4 feet tall? Mind you, even at that size, they could still probably go for your hip and all. Because I remember this one little thing from like it was either a trading card thing. I don't remember exactly what. They have the look of T-Rex infants when they're like at 6 months old, and they go playful when young, and then become this guy, and it's just like, yep, run. So yeah. But yeah, in the audience, if anybody was offended by the use of the P word, it's not intended to be offensive. I was just trying to see if that was considered appropriate or acceptable, and I now know that's not acceptable to say these days. So my bad on that part. I didn't know. And with regards to the article, Madam President, your thoughts?
I have to agree. Again, I understand that science wants to try something, but the problem is a phrase that there's a phrase that goes, "The road to hell is always paved with good intentions." And a lot of things were based on good intentions, and to some degree, nuclear weapons were based on good intentions because we wanted to end the war. But the problem is, we created something that's much fucking worse.
And it reminded me of another example: killer bees.
Ooh.
They were originally an experiment that ended up getting loose,
Oh, wonderful.
And the only
Love
thing
it.
that's separating them from humanity is a desert.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And let's be clear on one thing. It's like there's a phrase that a friend of mine's used where it's like I'm gonna say loosely because this is not verbatim because I can't remember, but he said the last words that will be uttered before the world ends is "It worked." That is what's gonna happen because science, again, like I said, the road to hell is paved with good intentions, and our need to look into things, look into science. I believe in science. I understand science, but I understand that try to fix things before you start making more shit that'll break the planet. Just a thought. Just a little thought. But
You're not wrong there.
but again, what do I know? I graduated high school. I don't know much with someone with a PhD who knows better.
Sean Retros just said, if a T-Rex is after you, find a lawyer and you should be fine. After all T-Rex like lawyers. I saw what you did there, Sean. Because the only one I've got on my side is the blood-sucking lawyer. Huh? Thank you. I like how, I forget the lawyer that's on YouTube that's just said law is broken. He goes, I resent that. But yeah.
But again, oh no, sorry.
No,
I'm just gonna say one thing. It's like, if it's broke, don't fix it. If you're trying to fix it, do it for the benefit of humanity, not just for something that'll either line your pockets or ruin the world for the sake of your own benefit.
Yeah.
And maybe try to fix this planet first before you do anything like that.
Damn right.
Yep. Alright. There's that one done. Okay. Up next, because it's likely that Raiden's
probably falling asleep.
It is a little bit of a shame because there were some stuff I wanted him to see this evening, but hey, it is what it is. And it's actually frozen on the actual thumbnail. Here's a movie some of you may not be aware of. Now, at my end, I'm going to have to turn the volume reasonably down because, let's just say, a little bit later, you get to see a duet between him and who actually became the character's third and final wife in his life.
Oh.
All right. I'm at 0.
Yep.
Give a moment.
Oh yeah, put this in the chat as well. Yeah, Sean, Dan, we're going back to the old method for the time being because I'm not hugely established on Twitch, and Twitch's copyright and fair use policy is a little bit different. Until I get, say, up to 100, 150 followers, gotta be careful with what I show. Now, Steve and Liz can attest, I always do things fair use. Because you have to.
Yeah.
But I'm having to sort of be a little bit careful with how I do things. Oh, we've got 5 people watching now. Awesome. So basically, those that are in the chat... Sean says be right back. For those that are in the chat, the link is there for you to watch as well. If you happen to be watching along with us.
Oh,
hello.
Look who's here.
What is up, Raiden?
Oh, what's up, guys?
You know we're live streaming now.
Oh yeah, I just get the message. Not bad.
It's all right. You're just in time. You're just in time for what's going to be the second review of the season.
Good, that's cool.
What we'll do, because we've already streamed the 17th anniversary of The Man, what we'll do when we go off air, we'll watch that one with you because, dude, you are going to laugh like you did with the Karen trailer.
Oh, geez. Sorry, not bad.
Oh, no. This will be all good stuff because you'll be like, what the fuck, man?
Okay. Thank you guys work for it.
Right, all of us are at 0 for the founder. Just let you get set up.
Okay, hold up.
For those listening that are new in the chat, this is the Cyber Raiden, the double alpha of Sunday Night Live.
Yo, how y'all doing? Okay, alright, I am at 0.
3, 2, 1, play.
It's often been said that good writing and character development has a character in a different place from when he began.
This is the case for Ray Kroc, who starts out as an over-the-hill milkshake mixer salesman that you feel sorry for, to becoming the founding member of the McDonald's Corporation and hating him at the end of it. The thing that is most rewarding about this movie is not just seeing the end result of Kroc getting what he wants, but it's the progression of how the McDonald's system works to finding loopholes within the contract to where he is able to acquire more capital, putting the McDonald brothers out of their purview. The contract between the brothers and Kroc is simple. He is given 1% of the revenue from the franchisee's profits, and he has to stick to the agreements that all changes to the Speedy system or architectural changes have to be agreed with them. This, of course, as you can imagine, has Ray feeling frustrated because he can see the ideas when presented to him can make a difference to running costs and requiring more money to open up more franchises, but the brothers are more than content at a slow-paced progression and not wanting to be greedy.
The game changes when Harry J. Sonomore, a financial consultant who is an admirer of Ray Kroc's establishment, highlights to him that the real money is in real estate and not off a 15-cent hamburger.
This comes at a much-needed point for Ray, as he was on the point of bankruptcy as he had remortgaged his own home in order to acquire the capital. What is interesting is seeing the different perspectives of the characters from Ray, Mac, Ray's estranged wife, Ethel, and Joan, who Ray you may recognize her lids,
even though she's married to
okay.
Is that
Raleigh
Emily Beth Richards?
Linda Cardellini,
Oh shit!
Velma.
Wow.
As he's
Oh, wow.
taking their creation and making business decisions that they don't agree with.
Except it's not a change.
Excuse me?
It's not a change. It's a company. It's its own separate company, which puts it outside your purview.
Anything relating to McDonald's is within our purview.
Let me explain something to you, Dick. You boys have full say over what goes on inside the restaurants. But outside, above, below, your authority stops at the door and at the floor. All right?
And Ethel for not being consulted for having their home
Holy
remortgaged,
shit.
and Joan
Well, damn.
wanting to see Ray succeed.
What makes you hate Ray at the end of the movie after having acquired the name of McDonald's from the brothers so that he could take the business to new heights is the fact he lays down signs of a new McDonald's that he advertises to be built across the road after they renamed their restaurant McDonald's No. 1 to the Big M.
It's a well-written story.
Oh, that is a dick move, man. Come on.
What is there to say? It's Michael Keaton. He is a great chameleon actor that once he starts researching a role, he commits to the bit. From playing Bruce Wayne Batman to Birdman and now as Ray Kroc, the real-life figure who took McDonald's to new heights. Michael is able to recognize Kroc's speech pattern, cadence, and the way he would clip when speaking. Keaton is able to have you feeling sympathy for Kroc in the beginning, cheering him when he begins succeeding, and then jeering him to when he makes his heel turn, screwing the brothers out of their creation.
Nick gives a decent performance as a guy with dry wit, as a no-nonsense businessman, as Dick McDonald. John has wonderful energy as Mac McDonald, and he really displays the enthusiasm
What was that?
What?
his older brother's idea
What?
of going national.
I thought I heard
finally being
a
realized.
large hissing noise.
It's been a while since we've seen this
I didn't
actress
hear
Am I-
as
anything.
Velma in the Scooby-Doo No.
Might have been on
movies,
my
and
end.
this was only a year removed from when she played the wife of Hawkeye in Avengers 2, Age of Ultron. For the small role she has as Joan Oh, Stewart Jeremy in Renner was Ray also the Kroc's producer third of this and final movie. wife, she plays
Yeah.
the
Oh.
forbidden fruit that Ray
Ow.
grew as the
Oh.
wife of Raleigh Smith. Novak is a good supporting player, acting as the man who turns things around for Ray Kroc. He gives a great performance with smooth delivery of his lines.
You don't build an empire off a 1.4% cut of a 15-cent hamburger. You build it by owning the land upon which that burger is cooked. What you ought to be doing is buying up plots of land, then turning around and leasing said plots to franchisees who, as a condition of their deal, should be permitted to lease from you and you alone. This will provide you with two things. One, a steady upfront revenue stream. Money flows in before the first stake is in the ground. Two, greater capital for expansion, which in turn fuels further land acquisition, which in turn fuels further expansion, and so on, and so on.
And it's also worth noting, he played Alistair Smythe
Some Vince
in
McMahon type
Amazing
shit,
Spider-Man 2. I just want to say that Laura's
Oh,
performance
shit, he
is
did!
totally underused in this movie as the estranged wife of Ray Kroc, who criticizes a lot of his choices in the movie. We know that Laura's performances from movies like Damage with Mickey Rourke and her involvement with the Jurassic Park series, she knows how to produce the goods. In this, she isn't given enough to show what she can really do. Carter Burwell, whose credits include 1991's Doc Hollywood, Mr. Holmes, No Country for Old Men, Three Kings, The Big Lebowski, and A Goofy Movie, takes on the role of composer, and he really gives this movie character. From when you see Kroc crossing America to get to San Bernardino to McDonald's #1 and to people enjoying a freshly cooked McDonald's hamburger, and the sheer delight on the look of people's faces as the joy is enhanced by his masterful pieces. There's something to be said for 50s hairstyles.
The same can
Yeah.
be said when you see Kroc recruiting
Huh.
new employees, and you hear these wonderfully uplifting, rising pieces that actually make you want to be part of his vision of McDonald's for the future.
This is continued to when Sonnenfeld gets Kroc to see what he can do with more real estate capital.
Also, the duet of Pennies from Heaven by Michael and Linda is just wonderful.
Trade them for a package of sunshine and flowers. If you want the
And that is actually Michael singing.
Holy shit!
Damn!
Going to the Spirit in the Sky by Norman Greenbaum. Watch the credits. As it shows what transpired Yup. with the real Ray Kroc and the progression of McDonald's since the 60s.
That's
The movie grossed a profit of $24.1 million against a budget of $7 to $25 million, and it earned a further $2.5 million through domestic video sales, bringing its overall profit to $26.6 million. Put in 5 years of inflation, and its total now would be $29.3 million. Despite its modest earnings at the box office and home releases, it did score favorable reviews. Rotten Tomatoes' consensus of the movie states, the founder puts Michael Keaton's magnetic performance at the center of a smart, satisfying biopic that traces the rise of one of America's most influential businessmen, and the birth of one of its most far-reaching industries. Rolling Stone magazine's Peter Travers had this to say, to give it 3 out of 4 stars. Strive hard and mostly succeed at keeping Hollywood's sentiment out of the storytelling. Set more than half a century ago, The Founder proves to be a movie for a divisive here and now. Set right up, you might just learn something. Michael Keaton won the 2016 Capri Award for Best Actor. Personally, I think he should have gotten an Oscar for his performance. I think it's one of those movies that had a great story to tell but ended up being unappreciated for what it was. What most consider as probably the best real estate story.
The movie has been enjoyed on DVD and Blu-ray since 2016. I'm MJ Knight, and we learnt the history of McDonald's with The Founder. You know, it's often been said that good writing and character development has a... That's the vanilla cola talking. There's a blooper. The duet of Pennies from Heaven by Michael and Linda is just wonderful. It's also available on Amazon MP3. Go download it. Seriously, you won't regret it. Leave as an outtake. The movie has been enjoyed on DVD and Blu-ray since 2016. I'm MJ Knight, and we've learned... Hey, Doc. How did I get to McDonald's? Rabbit, you're in the wrong place.
I made the wrong turn at Albuquerque.
Don't give him ideas. We don't want to see carrot burgers and carrot milkshakes. Ugh.
Oh God, no! That's even more. No, don't do that.
Bucky O'Hare might.
Yeah, you could have. I could have seen that as a promotion for Space Jam.
Vanilla, strawberry, chocolate. Cookie dough. I know Raiden's salivating at that. Go mop up, dude. Or even pistachio, but carrot milkshakes? No.
No, nobody wants that. No. Cool shit.
I wonder what it would be like if we ran our own fast food restaurant.
It's like I say, you see him at the end putting up his new McDonald's opposite the big M from the McDonald's brothers. Like, oh come on, man, really?
Dude, I was like, dude, not cool, man.
Like you said, that's a dick move.
Yeah, that is a dick move. Come on.
I appreciate in business you have to be objective and assertive, but then it's just being an asshole.
Yeah.
I don't know. Alright. Okay. Let me just see in the chat. Sean says he's back. Dan says hello to Sean. That's nice. Do the usual thing. Steve, did you see it back in 2016? What do you think of it now, if applicable, and thoughts on the review?
Again, another film that I did not see. I think I briefly remember hearing it about on advertised, but it didn't really grab my attention. Once again, very good with the information in the review. Might look this one up as well.
I do recommend it. Let me just check one quick second, because I know you have Amazon Prime. So let's see. Go on to DVD. Just have a quick look. Yeah, it's on Prime Video. Hang on. Let me just pop that in for Steve, just so you can go check that now. Is that the same for Amazon.com. Let's see. Hang on. Would help if I could spell. Founder DVD. Let me see. Let's go into that. Yeah, they got on Prime Video there. So anybody who's got Amazon Prime in the States, there it is as well.
Sweet.
Obviously, question to Madam President now. Did you see it? What do you think of it today? And thoughts on the review?
I didn't get a chance to watch this movie. Again, I don't watch a lot of movies. It's like I feel like I should, but I feel like I either miss out on movie theaters and I end up watching it later, which is kind of where this movie falls under that category because I feel like I need to watch this later. Decent movie, I will admit that. It's just, again, because he's someone who works at a fast food joint, it's interesting to see where that come from. So, it's fine. Also, in regards to the review, you did a good job. You gave a lot of information and just like, there's some stuff that I didn't know about that. I'm like, oh, cool, okay. Again, it was a good review and I enjoyed it.
There you go. And to the Cyber Raiden, same questions.
Unfortunately, I didn't check it out. Like Liz, I haven't been in movie theaters in a minute. Well, I kind of broke that streak the New Year's Day when I finally watched Spider-Man No Way Home. But I'll save that for later. I'll save that for later. But yeah, for what it's worth, it looked like a really good story that you didn't expect to hear. And I really like how you paid attention to the craft and anything. And it's like, oh wow, okay, that was cool. So yeah, real good stuff. Yeah. Interesting movie, great review. That's all I got. That's all I'll say.
Awesome. Think we'll. Hang on. There was an article, I think. Oh yes. There was an article that Raiden wanted to get into the meat of.
I think, I don't know if I remember, but let's see.
Michael Bay, Gareth Evans, and Patrick Hughes remaking The Raid for Netflix.
This is gonna be bad.
The film will reportedly be set in Philadelphia's drug-infested Badlands.
Oh, God, kill me.
You can't see it right now, but I'm rolling my eyes at that.
The director Michael Bay is joining forces with Patrick Hughes and Gareth Evans in the return of a Hollywood hit. According to Deadline, it was reported that the three critically acclaimed directors, shouldn't that be two critically acclaimed directors plus Michael Bay? I apologise for nothing again. On a reimagining of the Indonesian action thriller The Raid for Netflix. The 2012 film was created, written and directed by Evans and premiered at the 2012 Toronto Film Festival, where it quickly garnered praise for its action sequences and cinematography. The success of the film led to its 2014 sequel, The Raid 2. The Raid takes place in Indonesia and follows an elite squad takes with infiltrating a ruthless mobster's den. The film quickly builds suspense as the team traverses the levels of a high-rise building, facing off against the drug lords' deadly underlings.
Trust me when I say this, people. If you can't watch this movie, it is possibly one of the most hard-hitting foreign action movies I've ever seen. This gets Cyber Raiden stamp of approval.
The film stars Iko Uwais, hope I pronounced that right, as lead actor.
Iko Uwais.
Okay. As lead character Rama, a rookie member of the unit. The cast also includes Joe Taslim, Ray Sahetapi, Yawain Ruhian, Sunny Alamzia, Lang Darmawan, Pierre Gruno, Tagar Satira, Eka, I'm gonna butcher so many names here now, Eka Ramadia, and Andreas Godfred. Evans won't be taking on writing or directing duties this time around. The reimagining will see Evans as executive producer, with Hughes and Bay tapped as directors. Oh, good lord.
No, God, no.
Hell no. No.
Hughes also co-wrote the script alongside James Beaufort. Range Media Partners and XYZ Films are also set to produce. We're incredibly excited about Patrick's unique version for this film, spoke the producers in their statement to Deadline. It's a distinctly original take on the material. Sure. Which promises to pay great respect to the original film while also bringing a fresh approach, and perspective that will set its own course in the action genre. The reboot of the film will take place in Philadelphia, where an elite DEA task force will take on a mysterious cartel kingpin as they fight their way through his tower of informants. Since Sony's acquisition of the North American rights to The Raid, oh dear, in 2011, the film's American remake has undergone many iterations in its attempt to market off initial success and subsequent cult fanbase, such as Chris Hemsworth, Frank Grillo, and Liam Hemsworth were rumored to be attached in earlier attempts but ultimately mounted to nothing. With 3 of the biggest action movie directors, should be 2 plus Michael Bay, to this current attempt, fans are eager to see how the trio will reimagine the film for American audiences. My thoughts to this. Now, when I say this is not to disrespect the original, because I've never seen the original. So, you know, if the original's great, fine. But the fact that Michael Bay is involved with this, mulligan, I'm not going anywhere near this. Stephen, your thoughts?
Absolutely not. I mean, I know Hollywood has gone stale, but considering the cult status of the original, why the heck would you want Michael Bay to be involved with it?
Because Boba Fett?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. I'm just gonna avoid this one because anything that over the years that Michael Bay has been attached to, I just try to avoid like the plague.
You're not the only one. Madam President, your statement.
I think there's a little song that goes like this. Fuck this shit, I'm out. Nope. Fuck this shit, I'm out. Oh, thanks. Don't mind me. I'm just gonna pack my stuff and leave. Excuse me, please, because fuck this shit, I'm out. I don't know what the fuck just happened. Why would you think remaking The Raid is a good idea? I've seen clips of the original and no! You cannot capture that shit with CGI or freaking whatever choreography fight scenes you do. Because no!
Or massive explosions, because
Exactly.
it's Bay.
From what I see of The Raid looks like a movie that's made for just like physical fight scenes. This is made for people who use martial arts. This is not made for someone like Michael Bay. Why are you sticking your nose where it doesn't belong, Bay? Get the fuck out. Like, I don't care how talented these writers are. You don't remake like this. This joins along the lines of Back to the Future. You don't remake this shit.
Hell no.
No.
Oh, Sean, what the hell? It says...
But just...
Sorry, finish up.
No, it's just... I don't understand why you need to ruin something that's good. I'm not gonna go watch this movie because quite frankly, I'd rather see the original movie. I'd rather see the sequel to that movie. I don't want to watch this pile of garbage you're going to make with this. I don't care how good it is, who you are casting in this movie. No. Just no. Stop culture appropriation and get the fuck out of my screen, Michael Bay.
Mm-hmm.
The First Lady of Awesome, everybody. Sean, what the hell? And I quote, still could be worse, they could have put NFT in it.
No! fire! Kill it with fire!
Commander Cyber Raiden,
No.
I issue you your arms. You may do as you please.
Oh my freaking god! I'm going to be soft-spoken about this because I think libs know about last night and how much the vitriol I produced after seeing both Rumble matches. But that's for another time. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, a lot of people you don't know that The Raid is one of my all-time favorite action movies of the last decade. From the action, from the characters, it takes, a basic story. I won't say basic, just a run-of-the-mill storyline of, police officers storming a drug-infested tower, and made it into one of the most pulse-pounding, neck-breaking, just all-around gory film. I would say that about the sequel, but that's, like I said, that's another time. So immediately when I saw beloved Michael Bay is going to remake it, my other half will not shut the fuck up about it.
Shin is displeased.
What's that?
Shin is displeased.
Oh, you have no idea. But yeah, like MJ said, Mulligan, I am not touching that shit with a giant football. I will not see one of my all-time favorite action movies be bastardized by a person who almost turned the Ninja Turtles into Alien Turtles. Thank God that never materialized, but I digress. Yeah. This thing can go F itself in the worst way possible. Gareth Evans, I don't know why you gave this guy rights to do all this, but hey, you need to get paid. I kind of respect that a little bit, but don't get mad at us for the end result. That's all I'll say.
Yeah. Yeah. Raiden's just pretty much said it. We might have to end slightly earlier than usual, not because I don't want to keep doing this, but to give a bit of context, Raiden, I'm using a makeshift stool to keep my leg elevated, because I think you know that I said on Discord that I was being operated on last week, and as a result of that done, I have to keep my right foot up as often as possible, and I'm having to keep readjusting myself in my seat, and it's getting a little bit uncomfortable, especially around my lower leg and my kneecap. So I know it says that we're supposed to keep going till 8, folks, but if you're going through what I'm going through at the moment, you'd be like, no big thing, dude. If you need to rest, you need to rest. So we're ending about 21 minutes early, but that's purely from a comfort perspective, folks, because I need to be able to stretch a little bit, and it's getting really uncomfortable sitting like this. So, from the season premiere of Sunday Night Live on Twitch.tv, until next Sunday at the same time of 6 p.m. UK Standard Time, I have been the Knight saying good night from the night.
See y'all later.
And don't forget to check out MJ Knight's Teespring page.
Yep.
Yes.
And don't forget to also follow and subscribe to Onirakaku on twitch.tv/Onirakaku. And when you subscribe and follow to him, tell him that MJ sent you and that you also love cheesy poofs.
And donate all the bits.
Yes.
Oh Lord. Speaking of South Park, Brett.
Well, it's on my Twitch page, not his, so I have free reign.
Oh no, not that, bro. In order to promote for the season for this, I think the 25th anniversary of South Park.
Jeez.
They did an orchestral rendition of Kyle's Mom's a Bitch.
Oh man.
I died. Oh my god.
I need to see that later.
Yeah, you gotta send a link. Share a link later.
Hold on. I think I got it. Got it.
Okay.
We'll have to see that off air because that will be glorious.
Yeah.
Good night, folks.
Good night.